Don Alexander here with Gene Coda Executive Search. We connect outstanding firms in the life sciences sector with executives and professionals who help bring game-changing products and services to the market. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Peyton Anderson, co-founder and board chair of Powered Research, who is a preclinical CRO specializing in ophthalmic models for life sciences R&D companies. So Peyton, thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Don.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Peyton. Let me ask you, just to get things kicked off here, tell us a little bit about your recruiting, what prompted you to consider leveraging a firm like ours, where were you before you got our help, that kind of thing.
Sure. We're lucky enough. Powered Research is our entity, and we're lucky that we're in a nice life sciences niche, the preclinical services space, and it's well funded, and our clients are in a big hurry. So we're growing rapidly, maybe doubling our headcount over a 2-year basis. So obviously that's hard to do in normal times, and COVID times it's at least as hard. So we've been growing rapidly, and it's a services business, so it's really important to get the right people. So we did the obvious. We've asked every employees for their best friends and their everybody they knew, and we did the Indeed type postings. And again, as the founder, I personally phone screen people, which maybe I want to give that up over time, but it's really important who I let into the company. So it's probably the most time intensive and exhaustive thing I've done in the last couple of years is, grow our team from maybe 10 people up to 35 or 40, whatever we are today.
That's great. And what concerns with respect to search firms and perhaps even our firm in particular here at Gene Coda, what concerns or hesitations do you have with respect to leveraging a resource like ours to help you fill some of those positions?
Yeah, everybody values their time, obviously, both on the recruiter side, and the employee side, and the employer side. So, but I fundamentally like people who are aligned with me in terms of getting the right person. So I generally have a strong bias towards working with people where we're shared. We pay when we get a great candidate. And when I've decided to hire a recruiter, I'm anxious to write that check. So the minute I want to write a big check to you as quick as I can because we're in a hurry. So I fundamentally like the fact that we're aligned together from the beginning. And my perfect scenario, Don, is when you bring me one person to meet, maybe two people. I don't need any more practice interviewing people. Don't need any more, new random people to meet on the internet. So I find that works best. You're in a hurry, just like I'm in a hurry, and we're aligned totally with that. If we were on a monthly retainer for 6 months, then things that take months aren't that important. Things are more urgent than taking months.
Absolutely. And Peyton, maybe if you would talk a little bit about why you chose to work with us. I mean, you've expressed some of that, but any additional reasons?
Sure. Yeah, I think fundamentally life sciences is a unique industry. So I think fundamentally you need to work with recruiters that inherently know the language, know the parlance, and they know the whole value chain. They know where different companies fit in and how skill sets in one part might fit into another. So just fundamentally domain expertise is really important. You're hiring people for their expertise. So if your recruiter has actual knowledge of the expertise, it fundamentally just works better. We're a smaller company. So Don, you and your associates have done a good job making sure you bring us people that are suited for smaller companies, because it's the pros and cons with small companies versus big companies. So bringing people that are cultural fits is really important when you're growing fast and don't have time to train people and don't have all the infrastructure of a large company. Cultural fit's very important. And you've done a great job of that. And fundamentally, you and I have known each other for 20 years, and I know that recruiters work by trust and referrals. And I know certainly you're very, very regarded by everyone that's been in the life science industry for more than 20 years in RTP. So your credibility and competence is beyond anyone's questioning, and that referrals matter.
Yeah, absolutely. That's well said, Peyton. In terms of your experiences working with us, what have you found to be kind of the benefits of working with our firm?
Well, I think we've done 3 or 4 over the last 12 months. So that's what I can speak to. I think several of them have been out of state people where you and I realized that there weren't that many of these highly specialized people in the area. So they worked really well, where you brought us 2 or 3 different people that I was able to through Zoom screen and qualify and bring people down. So we've successfully brought people here from the upper Midwest through you. I think the other has been the local people. I honestly have been surprised that there were locally talented people that they didn't find me on Indeed and I didn't find them through my network. And I thought it was a pretty small world. So you've pleasantly surprised me with two or three really talented people that are on the company right now that I should have known, but I somehow didn't. And that's why you're a pro, and that's why I keep doing this.
That's fantastic. When thinking about outcomes like obviously getting employment hires made, Peyton, are there any other specific outcomes that y'all have received? That you feel like by working with us.
Well, I would tell you, it's more than just you getting me an interview with people. Ultimately, getting feedback after I've had an interview with someone to really know what they really said versus what they may have said to me on the phone. I think understanding market-based competitive intelligence, whether it's you know vacation comparables or salary. So just me making sure I've got my head dialed into what is market and what it's going to take to get someone. Those are all really good things, and I really value this honestly as a selfish person who values time. I don't want to bring anyone in for interviews unless I have a real high confidence they're going to fit. Otherwise, I've got three or four people wasting an hour and they're all very busy. So no one here really has time to interview, at least in my company. We're all too busy. We're all growing too fast. So anything you can do to give me a one and done, where you really screen 20 people and I get to talk to one or two by Zoom and I bring in one and everyone likes them. That's that's the process I like to run. I don't have the time to bring in five people and have a bake off. So you've done that part very well for me.
That's great. Is there any advice, Peyton, that you might offer up to other companies, I suppose, other life sciences organizations that may be considering you leveraging a firm like ours? What advice would you give them?
Well, I'd say many people I consider peers have had challenging experiences with recruiters. So all I would say is, I've had many myself back 20 years ago in a different industry. We had some things where we spent a lot of money and didn't get anything close to what we needed. And again, stuff happens and it's not all, I'm sure I contributed to those problems. But fundamentally, what I think is most obvious here is you have more of a risk sharing model that is fundamentally different. So if I could get the high quality of a really, really high end national search firm with life science expertise and all the expertise, if not more, without having to pay a very expensive upfront retained search firm, that it's kind of a no brainer. Why wouldn't you use this? And there's nothing more important than hiring great people. So why would you not take advantage of a solution and a proven pathway to getting good people? So it's pretty straightforward to me.
That's great, Peyton. Well, thank you very much for taking some time with us today to explore some of those different aspects. We value our relationship with you and with Powered Research and look forward to the company's continued growth.